Well, hello. Today I'd like to help you earn more money in your life. Now, that may or may not be a direct goal of yours, but I know that so many people that I encounter and that I work with feel constrained by the lack of finances. And money is something that we all need, and it is something that allows us to have a better life. It allows us to serve more people and to expand our circle of influence. So let's talk about what you can do to change your perception and your awareness level surrounding money and how you can better invite money to come into your life to help use it to support you in your fulfillment of your goals. Now, one of the most important things that we need to do to help manifest our goals and to make them a reality for us is to think and act and feel as if we have already achieved that state of being. So if you have a goal or thoughts around earning more money or inviting more money into your life, you need to already act and feel as if you are in that state of being of having money. And this can be very challenging because if you don't have the money, you can't go spend the money, right? And we don't want you to go out and incur a bunch of debt trying to act as if. So how do you act as if you don't have the money to act with, right? The main thing that you need to do is to use your imagination and your awareness and pay attention to your thoughts and your state of feeling. A great way to get an assessment of your thoughts around money is by being around your family and those that you grew up with. What do you hear coming out of their mouths about money? And what does your spouse or your partner or your siblings, what do they say to you and what do you say to them? If you are constantly surrounded by people or ideas that everything is too expensive or it's not affordable or I don't have money for that, if you're making those kinds of statements, you are going to continue to perpetuate that state of being. Okay? Here's a wonderful lesson from Neville Goddard. If you don't have this book, I highly recommend it. The Power of Awareness. And he says, it cannot be emphasized too much that by creating an ideal within your mental sphere, by assuming that you are already that ideal, you identify yourself with it and thereby transform yourself into its image. So you have to identify yourself as someone who has money, who has more money than you need. And you can't focus on paying your debts and getting rid of debt if you have debt, because then you're thinking about debt. You want to think about abundance. So the way to act as if with respect to money when you don't yet have it is by controlling your thoughts and your imagination around money. So when there is something that you want, instead of thinking, I don't have money for that, that's too expensive, I can't afford it, you need to change your thought process. Bless all of the people that have the things that you want, because then you're sending out goodness, and change your thoughts. When you see something that you want, but yet you don't have money for it, figure out another phrase to use. Say, I am thankful that that is mine. I'm grateful that I have the money to buy that. I know that that's a great price. I can afford that. Everything is affordable for me. You're going to have to practice this over and over and over because initially you're not going to believe it. And you need to have the feeling that those statements are true. You need to have the feeling of abundance and of prosperity within you. So if you're having feelings of fear or of lack, you need to work on countering those feelings and having feelings of abundance, prosperity, and faith that it can be. So acting as if with respect to money, you have to be aware of and change your thought processes. Find some sort of statements or affirmations that you can repeat aloud or in your head constantly when you encounter people who say, I don't have money for that, I can't afford that. Change it around. Well, that's affordable. That's affordable. I can afford that. I'm so thankful now that that is mine. I'm so grateful that I have X amount of money in my bank account. I'm so grateful that it is so easy for me to pay all of my bills. And feel grateful. Feel the abundance. Feel that you already have all of the money that you need, and that's how you bring it into your life. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please let me know what statements that you're using that work for you to help you overcome your money paradigms and those false beliefs. Have a fantastic day and share this with your friends so that it can help them too.